trying to see what they see. I think the other laptop is hiding out. Then we got the turtle tank. He's loud. What was the discussion? I think the discussion was on... That's my keyboard right there. That one that's covered is my keyboard. I got 3. It's 1. Let me see. It's 1. See the other one. 2 and 3. And the Mac with everything on top of it. My peace space. My space. And yet I can't talk in here because of the tank. Which is all bad. It's all bad. Kind of messy. But yeah. In the area of music. Music being what it is in relation to the music industry. Hopefully I don't make anybody mad when I say this. Usually people get mad at me. Hold on, it's dark as I walk through this house. The music industry. The music industry. Yes, the music industry. Somebody asked me my opinion on that. And I'm going to say it. In relation to what I said when I said that I said when they asked me, I did say that the fact of if you work in the music industry and your career only consists of making music, then that's in fact a dead end. Yes, I did. I said that. And it was really no offense in me saying that, but it's the actual truth. Music itself is a dead end career. And me, myself, being a musician, I know this to be truth. Because, remember, technology is replacing a lot of things, right? Music is not making what it used to make, money-wise. I mean, those who have actually served in music knew that the money was never really there in the first place. See, the music industry is working off this very old model that needs to be changed. A lot of this goes back to the 1930s and even before then. So people are not making money. Even rock and roll artists are not making money. And you know, jazz is completely, the genre of jazz is completely dying out for even that simple fact. If people are not going to listen to the genre of jazz, it has no purpose but to completely die out. Because electronic music, people using synthesizers to create, that's replacing the real instruments. So you got jazz artists that are in fact mad about that, but and then you got some of them that's taking it for what it is, that, you know, everything evolves or whatnot. And history repeats itself, but yes, I said that the music industry, when it comes to you being an artist in the actual music industry, entertainment industry, that's a dead-end career. And it is. And let me explain even more. Anytime you are in an industry that is evolving the way that is evolving at such a high pace as it is, and you have rock and roll artists who were once on the scene, big as everything in the world, they were big as earth themselves, and yet they're complaining about the shift of the music industry, that tells you right there that the music industry is the jobs in that is a dead end. If you're not doing audio production, see, audio production, that serves various purposes, because see, to be in audio production is to switch roles. You could either help people that's in music record. You could I mean, there's all, especially when it comes to being an audio engineer, that's completely, you can do any and everything with that. You can do film with that. To be the name audio production just is what it is. That doesn't say music, that says audio at all sides. So you might want to go work post-production in the area of film. after a film is completed to help them clean up whatever sound in relation to the film studios with the audio and all that. You might want to go do something like that in the area of audio instead of trying to be an artist on stage. See, that was why me being asked about that, that's why I said what I said when I said I lost interest in the whole being an artist aspect and me being able to do everything. That's why I had lost the interest in the area of performance on stage. Because see, me being a BMI member, that's the same organization, rights organization Michael Jackson was with, Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson. Majority of people is either with them or with ASCAP. I'm with BMI. And so even when you perform live, you get a payout. All that's documented, you get a payout in that. And yet for me, I still see that as a dead end job because, and let me explain why. I'm not even explaining the reason why. See, anytime you are an artist on stage like that, it's a dead end job until you put something else with it. That's what I'm trying to explain. You just don't get on stage and say I'm an artist. Because not in an industry like that. Not in an industry full of vultures where people are going to take advantage of you in other areas. You need something as a backbone. You need something that is completely outside of the realm of music that actually makes money for you. Because remember, the industry has been known, especially too in the area of songwriting, where people have gotten over on them and they haven't received all their royalties. See what I'm saying? To put extra stuff with that is to have a full package. You don't get on stage and just be a singer. You don't do that. Not in an industry like that. Because see, everybody is out for self-benefit and they're out for selfish reasons. Yes, they are. Yes, I know this to be truth. Trust and believe. I know this to be truth. So you have to have multiple things going for you. You can't just say, okay, I'm a musician and I'm going to get up here and I'm going to back a group that comes on the scene that sounds like the Beatles, or back somebody that's even George Clinton from the Parliament. You can't do that. Them days is over. You can't do that. You in an industry like that, in the entertainment industry, you have to always have more than just one thing that you're doing, or more than one thing to fall back on. Because see, if the first thing don't work, then the second the second thing might work. So I'm talking about your skills. Or not only that, the industry is known to roll in seasons. Even with touring, there's cycle seasons for that. When people go on tour, when they plan everything, there's seasons and cycles for that. They have to plan that out. They might choose a particular month out of the year, which is known more as the touring cycle. Yes, it is. And they will actually go on tour during that time because they know that during that time of year, they can actually make some of the most money if they're within that certain time of touring cycle. So I didn't say that being a musician, I didn't say that that was not valuable. I didn't say that. So don't misquote me. When I say stuff, people sometimes they misquote when I say stuff, especially about industry stuff, because it's always the conversation. Don't misquote me on that. I didn't say that you getting on stage with a microphone. I did say that I can't really see that as a career. I said that because if you can't put something else with it, then working in that type of industry is not going to be of no value of you. And let me extend on that even more, because talent is everywhere. Millions of people out here in America have talent. It's babies right now being groomed at 4 or 5 years old to go into the industry. Yes, they are. And some of them got more talent than probably me standing here. So, and me knowing this, just as quick as this is able for me to get on stage for a record label, it's just as easy for them to replace me with one of those young kids. So that's why you have certain people that have been legends in the industry, why many of them have lasted as long and not solely based on talent. That's why you see some of them linking up with the Apple, and not in relation to iTunes. They're linking up with Apple in the area of technologies, helping to sell certain things in relation to music, but not completely iTunes. Feel what I'm saying? Some of them link up with places like Apple to help sell gadgets. Because to not make enough money in the realm of music is to go elsewhere on the outside and affiliate yourself with people that can help make your money so you can pay your bills. Because to live a lavish lifestyle and to live it for so long is to know sooner or later an industry will soon enough evolve, and you soon enough won't even be able to afford your bills. So you have to go out. That's why you got, back in the day, the industry was about talent and stuff, and yes, it was about looks. But now, since everything has evolved more so, even in the 90s, the 2000s up until now, everything being about looks, that's why you got a lot of these young girls and even older women like Madonna and all them that focus on looks more than anything, and they know that they have to go team up with some outside corporation such as Revlon or MAC. They have to team up with something like that in order to combine it with a package of music. That way they can survive. It's surviving. You can't survive just off of music. That's the reality. And that actual thing hit me in the face a few years back. During the time, I think that was 2008. I think that was 2008 when I was like, I think I'm going to get on stage and rap and sing and join the gay community and do all this and try to do some performances for them. Even then, I was looking at the fact that all this is not going to work if I don't combine this with something else. I'm going to either have to combine this with a gay cause or something that's bigger than myself, something that's completely bigger than my skills and my talent, just something bigger in relation to some type of corporation. I knew that years back. I knew that. I knew that rapping and singing and just writing songs in the whole realm of music was not going to completely work unless I combined it with something else, say like film and TV. I knew that. See, you can know something way ahead of time and not even discuss it with the people around you or even tell them. And then when they find out what happened later or what was going on, they get mad. But that's fine, because see, to research and know and understand this type of stuff is to end up further than your average person. You gotta know. Any industry you want to go into, like that cousin that when I said that she's on TV right now, the TV show she's on is all around the globe. She graduated from the Alvin Ailey School of Dance, right? She's a little bit younger than me. She graduated from the Alvin Ailey School of Dance. She's been in music videos. She actually was in Fergie. Why am I asking if you know? Fergie with will.i.am. She used to sing in the Black Eyed Peas. My cousin performed in Fergie's video as one of the dancers, right? And that's because she graduated from Alvin Ailey School. Not only was she featured in that video, she was featured in many videos, which led up to her being able to be on the show that she is, TV show now. But she came out of that school dancing. She learned acting and stuff like that there, but her focus at the time of coming out of school was dancing. But she knew, because remember, back in the day you had Debbie Allen and Fame and all that. See, that type of stuff was taught back then, and if you didn't catch it with your eyes, you didn't pay attention enough to know that if you are a dancer and you graduate from a famous school such as like that, at Alvin Ailey, at any time you can break your ankle where you can't really dance, or you can completely fall on your ankle and put your whole ankle out of place. And my cousin knew that, and she knows that. That's why she put her acting with the dancing as a full package, because to be a dancer, a lot of times, especially if you're not a celebrity, dancer careers come to an end very quickly at a young age. And a lot of people don't know that. See, your average dancer, depending on who they dancing for, what type of dance form they're doing. If it's ballet, she did that too. She did all the different type of dances that you can do. She did all that. Many dancers' careers usually end somewhere around the age of 30, 32. But if they're doing hip hop, they can do it up until the age of 40. But a lot of times when they're doing it like that, many of them are actually becoming choreographers, where they help dancers, you know what I'm saying, learn the steps and stuff like that for music videos or for dance tours and stuff like that. So when you become a choreographer, that can actually extend your dance career. You ain't really got to get up and dance. You can just show other people the actual move so that they can film it in the music video, or they can film it for the touring, or they can film it for a live performance, or help put on a live performance. A choreographer doesn't have to be involved with that. But many, like I said before, many dancers, a lot of times their careers come to an end. Depending on what style of dance they're doing, it will come to an end very quickly and very rapidly around the age of 30, unless they're in hip hop. See, because hip hop being a free form dance that it is, that's why you got some dancers that's still 50 years old still up dancing. Because remember, it's free form. It don't have no rules. To have rules to do such dance like ballet and stuff, I've learned that back as a kid. To do stuff like that is to have rules in the area where it's so strict, your body can no longer move like that. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop dance, sometimes your body can no longer move like that, but there's no rules, so it don't matter. You're often not really judged for the movement because it's free form. If you can't move like this, you just move a different way, and people say, "Oh, that's cool, that's what's up." But if it's other forms of dance, they might not actually take it like that, because to be having a standard is to strategize that around the standard, and sometimes it's not accepted. But yeah, so my cousin knew that she could not just dance and dance because she's a few years younger than me. So 40 will be coming for her soon enough. She knew she had to package something else with that. And what she did, she packaged acting with that. So it's the same for me. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to have many talents or skills or gifts, because to be around any type of industry is to know what is needed today might not be needed tomorrow. Then what are you going to do? You place yourself at a dead end when you don't take into your awareness the fact that just because you have that one particular gift don't mean that it might not be needed tomorrow. See, something can serve you for so many years until it gets to a point where it's no longer of service for you. Then you got to go find something else to do. And by then, depending on if you use that gift and talent for so long, depending on then, you can't, what's the word for it? If I have a gift or a skill set, talent, or whatever, and say it's a season for me to only use that for 10 years, and now I can no longer get work after 10 years, I have to go do something else. I can't start over in life. There's no point to actually do something for 10 years and then try to go start and do something else that you're not good at, because that's starting your whole life over. It's going to work if you make it work, but that does not seem right. Why not have two gifts, talents that you can do and run them side by side and use each as you go as needed, instead of just focusing on one? Because the entertainment industry, it moves so quickly. My gosh, it moves so quickly. And not only that, technology in relation to the entertainment industry, more so music, it changes so much and so quickly, so rapidly. You can't even keep up with how much technology is going such at a high, fast rate with music. So It's just the whole game of the music industry is something else in itself. If you don't have a package outside of just being able to sing and rap, not saying you will never make it, but just know that one day life will come to a complete halt and standstill, where you might not even be able to stand yourself because the industry done passed you by. That's what they do. See, the industry, entertainment industry, music industry more so than film and TV. The music industry is a type where they eat you whole, they use you up and swallow you, and then spit you out. Music industry, yes they do. Because it's a disposable industry. So, what is fashionable and high class today is not tomorrow. Or not by next year. Because remember, we live in a very fickle society where it's all about the new trend. So just because you're hot this year don't mean you're going to be hot next year. You better enjoy that 15 minutes of fame. That's what I'm trying to say. And as you're enjoying, see, I think this more likely is what most people problem is. When they go into the industry and they're trying to perform on stage to become famous, I think their actual problem is what I just spoke on. Focusing only on that one talent and that one gift. Wow, when you first sign your name on that dotted line, say tomorrow a major label come and sign you. I feel even before you go into the industry, you should be trying to think of all the moves you're going to make that ain't got nothing to do with music. You should be trying to think of, okay, if I became famous in the industry and became a world-renowned superstar, even before you put your name on that dotted line with that major corporation, which is a record label, you should be thinking way ahead of time. What will I do that has nothing to do with music? What can I put myself to that has nothing at all to do with music? Because if music has got to a point where everything is going digital and streaming, and album sales are no longer what they are, and it's a dead end in relation to making money there, then your sole money is going to have to come from somewhere outside of just that label helping you to make money, or you trying to be signed to a label helping yourself make money. So what else can you do? Can you go over to Microsoft and help them sell products? Can you go somewhere to endorse hair products? What can you do? Because remember, music is a dead end. To understand and know that the dead end is there awaiting you is to figure out this ahead of time. You don't wait until you get signed to something to start trying to figure out. That's what my dad used to always tell me. If you want to do something in life, you start thinking ahead and start planning ahead just in case that situation find you. And then when you get into the situation, say stuff not going as planned, you have better understanding of how to handle the situation instead of getting tied to something and getting stuck and then not knowing what to do. It's the truth. If you ask me about something, I'll tell you what it is, because the music industry is not a game. Why you think we got so many people that was, before they got in the industry, they seemed like they was fine, and then once they got signed and became world famous and world renowned, why you think they got cracked out and on drugs? Because many of them thought that the industry was one way from them on the outside looking in, and then once they got in, they noticed there was no money there. That's how drug addiction happens. And yet, to not totally have a complete business mind is to get in that and feel that you're stuck. That's why many people, a lot of times when they get on drugs, they get on, some of these people, before they became famous, after they get on famous, why did I say before? Before they got signed, they was living an alright life. They became famous, and all of a sudden now they all cracked out and became crackheads or whatever you want to call them. Drug addiction, struggling with it, because on the outside, the fame and everything look good, but you can get so caught up in the fame aspect, you don't even pay attention to the money aspect. You got to have money to eat and survive. So, in knowing that, once again, what are you going to do? If you're a young kid, a teenager, like my little niece was supposed to do whatever for Disney, I knew right then, hold up, everybody need to stop the cart. Everybody need to stop the cart and the grocery cart or whatever else. Because you just don't put a child in something. You can be selling your child completely off to some grown man that is into sexual things that's not right. You can be selling your child off, signing her name away into something that could end up in a deeper poverty situation than say she already was before she walked in the door of the industry. People have to think about stuff. You got to think about stuff before you start signing your name to stuff on how you're going to handle situations. I just can't see it. My scalp is itching. I know I keep scratching my scalp. Like I got mane and tail in my hair. And I said that before. Mane and tail. And I think because I was sweating, my scalp is really itching. So, so I hope I didn't offend dude when I said that I took singing and rapping as a joke. Because everywhere I go, this seems to be the same situation, a conversation about me laughing, saying that that's a joke. Because I'm saying that, just like I said it a minute ago, if you're just bouncing around rapping and singing and you don't put nothing else with that, then that's not a whole package. It's not. Ask Madonna. What is Madonna doing with herself? Madonna done did everything. She was a cover girl. Or whatever. No, material girl. Behind being material girl was modeling and all that other stuff. You can't go in anybody's industry and just think you're just going to do one thing. That does not happen. Why you think every single famous chick or even guy we seen on TV has been doing more than one thing? And I hate talking about Jay-Z, but it seems like every other conversation people want to talk about him like he's God of the whole nation. But even in relation to him, he's not just rapping. He can't do that. There's no money in the rapping situation. So just look around you. People have to be more observant. You have to be more observant. You can't just look at one thing and say, oh, that's it. Because if you go into something and you fall deep in the debt and the poverty, in the end of the day, you can't blame nobody but yourself, because right standing amongst you was people of all names and nationalities, I'm saying in music, on stage, but yet their package consists of a full package. Notice when you see somebody and they're well known in the entertainment industry, I don't care which celebrity is, they got like 5 or 6 titles behind their name. It'll say singer, songwriter, dancer, actress, philanthropist, race car driver. It just model, entertainer. And when it says entertainer, outside of just all that stuff I name, entertainers in relation to them is so much more wider than just all them titles I name. So that what they trying to tell you is that they do everything. They trying to be open because they know that to have a job of just singing and to have a job of just rapping, that's not going to make it. It's not. Why? See, younger people don't understand this because they don't open their eyes in the realm. They bypass and look. Why do you think a person such as a Justin Bieber or whoever, people want to talk about this type of stuff. Why do you think when those people come from nothing and they come in the industry being discovered as a singer playing a guitar, why do you think many of them people end up into the realm in the world of acting, although they started as a singer? Pay attention. They started as a singer and now they careered and went from singing on stage into acting. And not only are they not only acting, now they're helping to direct major films with a major corporation as a film corporation. One thing leading to the next. Because once again, in the entertainment industry, You cannot have just one talent. You cannot just have one talent. You cannot have just one talent. That's why the ones that become the most successful, they're usually the ones that have multiple talents. Because they got to change them up as they go. It is what it is. An actress right now, speaking on actresses in the realm of film, an actress can be somebody, what's her name? Charlize. I can't even think of her last name. She's from Africa, right? No, let me think of somebody else. Sharon Stone, because Sharon Stone is sexy to me. Sharon Stone comes in the industry, right? And she's a good actress, right? But she makes a movie today, and then the movie flops. She makes another movie with somebody else, film director, and the film doesn't do that good. Well, while she's waiting for her career to pick back up and speed again, she's going to have to go do something else. She just is. See, because if you flop in a project, then that's showing you at that time in that season, whatever that thing is, that very thing that you're focused on is not meant to work at that time. So you're going to have to switch your talents and your gifts until it's time for that talent that flopped in relation to that film that you did as an actress, until it's time for that to pick back up again. You're going to have to go sit and do something else, or go stand and do something else, or go focus on something else until it's time for that other gift to rise again. And so, once again, the average young person, they don't take it like I, myself, and others take this. See, to know the industry is to know and understand what it is. Everything is not going to be a hit, as well as everything is not going to be a flop. And yet the seasons change like everything else. And yet when the flop happens, if a rapper get on stage and his album flop, he know he gonna have to wait that out. I'm saying with the album itself, he know that he going to have to like move himself away from that flop album and go sell some cologne, or go help sell some cars. I'm saying being featured in a BMI. I mean, why did I say BMI? Be featured in a BMW commercial or something. He's going to have to do something outside until his album sales pick back up, if they even pick back up. Then while he's selling other stuff, merchandise and all this other stuff, of all type of stuff, he might go team up with Martha Stewart and sell some linen and some crazy stuff like that till his album sales get right or whatever. You gotta be more than just being one-dimensional. See, being one-dimensional in the industry serves no purpose at all. It does not. Because to have a one-dimensional mind is just to end up in one lane, and when that one lane fails, what do you have then? Nothing at all. So, I had got hate mail years back from people that was hating on me because they didn't have all the talents I have. But I knew this back then, as I said before. I got hate mail because these particular people, they only have one talent. They only have one talent. So it wasn't meant for them to do that one talent, and then they didn't have nothing else. That's what happens. I feel like if you are a rapper and you write songs in the area of rap, then you need to put management to that. How many times do I have to repeat? You have to put management to that, because the rap career might not be meant, and yet it might be meant for you to do management. See what I'm saying? So, music. It ain't meant for me to be performing on nobody's stage, because I stopped that. I prevented that from happening, to me not supposed to be on nobody's stage. I didn't really solely want that. But that music is used elsewhere. You have TV, you have film. Got what I'm saying? You have writing love songs, people singing those love songs. It's to be used other places, and yet those are not even the same gifts. They're different gifts, split up. So, if you're going into music, that's what I say. If you're going to be a rapper or singer, you better take up acting classes. Listen to me when I say this. To be a rapper or singer is an act in itself. And yet you can't always be on stage because anything can happen. It might not even be meant for you to be on stage. See some of these people that's out here trying to be famous, it was never meant for them to be on stage. Because sometimes I see people and they'll be singing for a while. Guys, they'll be singing for a while, and then that scene over so many years, they just disappear. And you be wondering, well, what happened to such and such? They moved to Atlanta, Georgia. They not singing no more because it was never meant for them to be on stage anyway. And yet, there might be potential there for something else in the realm of entertainment. Gotta pay attention. Gotta pay attention. Yes, you do. Music is a dead end. Yes, it is. That's not negative. See, sometimes you can say something that sounds negative until it happens to a person. And then once it happened to them and they bring me the story, then I come out and tell them, well, I could have told you it was a dead end. All you had to do was turn on the TV and watch somebody like Gene Simmons. Remember him? They try to say he be talking crazy out the side of his mouth. He was an old rock and roll dude with many of them. And not only him, you got many hip-hop artists that will tell you the same thing. Like, man, there is no money in this. There's singers right now who were once famous in the 90s, in the 2000s. I always question, where are they? Because you can ask anybody in the industry, well, what happened to such and such, and they don't even know. They were famous singers, white and black, that just disappeared and rolled off into the sunset, and you ain't heard nothing else. You can go look them up on Twitter or Facebook, and their Twitters and Facebook is completely quiet and silent. Last time they've been on there was like 2014, 2015. Sade is one of them. Sade I love her. She's sexy too. I like her. She had the song called No Ordinary Love. I love Sade. She is a bomb. Is she from London? Black with that long, gorgeous hair. But even on her Facebook, when I looked her up the other day, the last time it had showed she posted on her Facebook was like 2012 or 2011, something like that. And then because she's doing The Wrinkle of Time, I keep messing up these films. Damn, why do I keep doing that? I've been doing it all day. Anyway, so she's singing the song for the film, and she's been disappearing way before. So Sade, she'll disappear, come out, she'll disappear, and then resurface on the scene with a project or some music, and then disappear again for a few years. And all the while her Twitter and her Facebook is quiet. From 2011, 2012 up to 2018. That's a long time to disappear. Yes, it is. I mean, she had music put out. She had music put out somewhere within that time frame, but she disappears. Many of them do. But yes, music being a dead end. See, as I said before about audio engineering, audio engineers are actually playing with sound. Audio engineers are not always the ones to create beats and instrumentals and compose music. No, they're not. You got many of them that actually repair sound. So say you hearing, if I'm recording now and you hearing a whole bunch of clicking, or you're hearing the washer and dryer in the background, the audio engineer will take those sounds out by repairing to make stuff better. Got what I'm saying? audio engineer is tinkering with all type of sounds. And yet, an audio engineer could actually be a record producer, or they could be a musical composer. It all depends on what your lane is. But just because I say audio engineer does not mean I'm saying someone that creates music. No. No. They work with equalization and all that other stuff. So, if you're an audio engineer in the music industry, that's not completely a dead end for you. And yet it could be. The only way it won't really be a dead end is if you're completely doing projects and you're in with a particular corporation and you just got constant projects one after another. And not only that, you're doing something in the realm of that's connected to electrical engineering. Because see, even those two things are close. They're close. You're working with sounds and you're working with electronics. So those, if you was to package those things together, you would never really be out of work. But never think that what I'm saying is a negative when I state a truth in the area of the dead end of music. Because if you ask somebody like the Smashing Pumpkins, remember them? They'll be because I saw one of the lead singers come out and say he had an issue with the fact of how the music industry is shifting and changing. He was the guy with the bald head. He had an issue with how the music industry is shifting and changing and how there's no work. Remember, he was a celebrity and still is. And yet, to not be able to pay your bills after you was world renowned poses an issue. It poses an issue of, now I must get up and do something else along with what I'm already doing, which is music. That's why you got some rock and roll guys that they took it upon themselves that because they had a band, they actually went and branded their own drumsticks. Yes, these are world-renowned rock artists that took it upon themselves to go design their own drumsticks because they know if music don't sell, merchandise does. So they needed a full package. They knew they probably could actually make more money off them drumsticks than they could off their songs. Because remember, a song, if you play a song on the radio, if a songwriter writes a song for you, that song is valued at 91 cents per play. But if the songwriter wrote it and yet you didn't, you just performed it, what you are receiving is an actual performance royalty. But it's not as much as, say, what the songwriter is getting because he wrote it for you. Songwriters get paid more than the actual artist that's singing these songs. Whitney Houston wasn't making as much as she should have been because she a lot of times didn't write many of her songs. So many of these rock and roll guys, they know they can make more money off of creating drumsticks and selling them as merchandising because they know they fans will spend $300 on some drumsticks, and that's just one package of drumsticks. You see what I'm saying? You can make more money off of merchandise, selling t-shirts and all that a lot of times than what you can making a song. Yes, you can. Because if I sell a song and that song is valued at 91 cents, right? I'm just giving an example. If I sell a song and the song is valued at 91 cents, and that's just for that one song, just for that one play, and yet it's been played on the radio maybe 100 times today, that's 91 cents. That's not even really a full dollar. But if I take a t-shirt and I package it and I value that t-shirt at like $25 and I sell that t-shirt, just one t-shirt, compare that. 91 cents compared to $25. A t-shirt. A t-shirt, many of these merchandise items, they hold more value than the songs that are released today. Yes, they do. Ask Apple and iTunes. Many of these people out here that are well known and famous, some of them are selling sweatshirts for $100 at their concert. And yet they're making more off them sweatshirts than they are off the actual songs that they're recording at the concerts. That is crazy. So that's what I said. When I say certain things, I'm not just saying stuff to bash stuff. I'm saying stuff because I know more about this. I know more about the music industry in the area of what most people don't know. So, that full package. If you only got one talent and you can't act or nothing else, or no, here's another option. If you can only rap or only sing, another option will be go to film school. Go to film school. Because remember, film is taking over more and TV is taking over more than music itself. Music will always be there because, remember, it connects with human emotion. But at the same time, the average human is visually oriented. We're constantly bombarded with images. Everywhere you go, it's an image. You walk down the street, you're seeing stuff. You walk in the store, you're bombarded with stuff to buy. You even turn on the radio. Although you're hearing it, that's still visual because they're trying to get you to go to McDonald's to buy a hamburger or get you to go to Subway. So you can hear something and visually see it, which makes you go buy. That's why the TV is more valuable than the radio. So, and people listening to stuff, music is more passive. People don't pay attention to music as much as they will see something in relation to music. That's why I said go to film school. Because if you are a rapper or a singer, the honest to God truth is nobody really cares about your talent. Please listen to me when I say this. This is not a negative. Nobody really cares about your talent, but they will more than likely care about what you can produce. And that's because we're flooded and saturated with so much talent out here that you have talent, but you don't have people that can actually run equipment. You have people that can't really walk in a recording studio and run that whole studio. I can, because I was trained in that, but not only that, I was self-taught in that. You don't have people that can rap a lot of times that can actually pick up a film camera that is a $30,000 camera and shoot a whole video or shoot a whole film that could be played in the IMAX theater. Got what I'm saying? The value is more in relation to the entertainment industry. Yes, these corporations try to sign people to get them to sing on stage and dance on stage, but the value a lot of times is more with people that can work behind the scenes. Because once again, people that are on stage are disposable. People behind the scenes, yes, they're disposable, but if somebody can come in and help work with a film crew to run equipment that needs to be run, a lot of times ain't no just getting rid of them. Feel what I'm saying? Ain't no just getting rid of them because it's harder to replace them. See, if you can run film equipment or even recording equipment, it's harder to get rid of them type of people because they're knowledgeable at not just a lot of times running that one camera. Many of them can also run sound. Not only that, many of them people understand what it is to tell a story behind the camera. Not only that, many of them can actually do film Foley work, is when you make up sound effects with natural items, or you make up sound effects with natural items in your environment. So, a lot of people that know how to run cameras or who have went to school and studied that type of art form, they know many things and how to actually run many things more than just rapping and singing. So when you know a lot of different things in the area of something like that, like film, you are more valued by that corporation. Hear what I'm saying? Everybody is disposable, and yet you're more valued because you could actually do more than, say, somebody that's just bouncing around on stage. They could easily replace somebody bouncing around on stage because all they got to do is get on YouTube and find another little kid that do it like you. And what they might do is get rid of you and start dressing that little kid how they was dressing you. That's the industry for you. So I said this a million times because I'm repeating it because it's an all-time question. If you are a rapper or you are a singer, go to film school. Go to some type of, you ain't even, just listen to me what I'm saying. TV is about to be the takeover. Film already is. But everything is visual. It just is what it is. You got to get your hands on, all I'm trying to say is you got to get your hands on something that is you got to make yourself advance in technology. Because if technology is the future, why would you just be sitting around singing and dancing on the stage? Especially if you are disposable, easily to be thrown away. Why would you do that to yourself? You should be able to get on any type of recording console and run that. Because it might get to a point where you're going to have to record yourself when you can't afford for somebody else to record you. Or it might get to a point where you might have to film yourself, your own music videos, when somebody else is charging $3,000 an hour. These people charge crazy amount of money to make just a music video. So I'm just saying it helps to think wisely about stuff such as this. You don't go bouncing around on the stage and say this is it. You don't do that. You have to put many talents with that. This is the millionth time that I said this. I'm gonna make another video because for every time it's asked, it's annoying. Music is a dead-end job. It's a dead-end job. Go ask Madonna. Madonna will tell you. She'll tell you to your face. It's a dead-end job. And yet she's still doing it. But what else is Madonna doing with it? Madonna done been in a film and everything. See what I'm saying? Gotta listen to people that know what they're talking about. This is not about just living one thing. So that's basically it. We have 52 minutes. I gotta get something to drink. My mouth is dry. Live out your dreams, but live wise.